late again.
Like a whore on her period.
We supposed to be here what? Supposed to do this Sunday and put it up Monday?
Yeah, what is it, Tuesday?
This is Tuesday. Where you been?
Where you been?
I've been here.
Me too.
I don't...
Yeah.
Well, then why wasn't there a podcast?
Well, because you didn't ask.
What'd you do last night?
Helped you put all these movies in alphabetical order.
That's right, buddy. Well, they're semi-alphabetical order. The A's are with the A's, the S's are with the S's, the P's are with the P's, and so forth, and all that. But they're not like in perfect alphabetical order. Because, golly, it took 3 hours anyway.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it was better than I thought. I figured it'd take longer than that.
Go through your movie collection at home and see how many S's you got.
We had 5 stacks.
It seems like the letter S is like the most common thing used to name a movie.
Well, that and D.
There's a lot of D too, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was like 4 D's.
That's what the women tell me. A lot of D in it.
Yeah.
A lot of that D, unless it's wintertime. And it's like, it's cold.
God, what's wrong with you running backwards?
Running backwards. Have you ever had a woman so ugly that make you run in backwards?
No.
I hope you never have to.
I hear you.
I ain't had one, but I've seen them.
Oh, yeah.
I got high standards and morals, don't you know?
Yeah, I hear you.
Shoot, it takes a lot to bed Chuck Connery. I don't just tap anything like a tap dancer now.
They gotta have a bed, you know.
Well, a bed helps. A bed helps, but
that's all it takes for you.
Oh.
Hey, I got this bed. All right, I'm down.
Yeah. You're lying on me. Mm-hmm. I'm Chuck Connery, by the way.
Yeah, I'm Ethan Bolden.
And this is Zombie Stone Podcast. One of these days, we might get some extra guests on here, maybe. You think we could ever drag Grooms or Goob or anybody out of the gutter to come do a podcast?
No, they won't do that no more. Especially Grooms. I don't know about Goob.
Yeah, Groom, why won't you do anything anymore?
Yeah, Grooms, if you're listening to this, go to hell.
Ain't like we're trying to make a movie or something and need him to come play his part, is it?
Well, he's got to shoot the girls' basketball game, don't you know?
Yeah, that's Phil Jackson Jr. Groom's now the coach of elementary school basketball. Where they're going.
Is it elementary school?
Elementary school, yeah.
Oh, God, I thought it was like 8th grade.
Well, I mean, that's elementary.
Well, no, that's like middle school.
In Grundy, it's elementary.
Oh, well.
Because elementary in Grundy runs from kindergarten to 8th.
Well, they teach them the same thing, right?
I guess. I don't know. I only went to Grundy. I'm Grundy County educated, buddy. I didn't want to go to no other school. Who you think I is? You?
I went a bunch of different schools.
He went to McMillan, though.
Hey, I went to Coffee County, too.
I never went to Coffee County.
And I went to East Side.
East Side?
East Side, West Side.
East Side till you die? You see Biggie on the East Side?
Yeah, me and him was balled up.
Balled up? Well, after doing the movie thing, I did manage to watch a couple movies this week. We'll talk about what you watched here in a second, too.
All right, go ahead.
We'll talk about what I watched here in a minute, too. But we should talk first about some controversy.
What do you mean?
Did I ever tell you about the time in my young blogging career in 2009, 10-ish, somewhere around that time, when I made a list for the most bangable blogger in the horror community and put every woman that was basically a blogger or a journalist or whatever at the time on the list, and the hell that came from it?
What kind of hell did you catch?
I was getting death threats.
Really?
Well, not necessarily death threats. It's more like kill yourself threats. You ever got any of those before?
No.
Oh, yeah, the shit went down, buddy.
Well, I mean...
It's a long, drawn-out story, but we'll talk about it.
Well, go ahead.
Now, it all started... Now, blogging was a pretty special thing back in the day. In 2009, there was a pretty big blogging deal, and people had these lists. About the time I come into blogging, the Vault of Horror had the Miss Horror Blogosphere. Horror, by the way, not Horror Blogosphere. That'd be bad. Horror. And it had basically a list of all the female horror bloggers was on it, you know, and people voted or whatever, who could win. Well, I was like, well, this seems to be the rage.
Yeah.
And everybody had like this horror blips or whatever it was, and everybody's trying to get all these hits because they was trying to get to the top of the list, whatever it was called. I forget. It's been years now. So first I made a Mr. Horror Blogosphere thing. And I done that, and it went over well. People entered. It had a little bit of controversy because somebody said somebody stuffed the ballot box and all that crap. You know, it was a mess. All contests are a mess.
Right.
Well, especially it was back then when people actually cared. Now nobody reads stuff anyway. But I was like, well, what'd be a good way to really push it over the top? So I said, you know, everybody always has these contests, and everybody says, well, the women always win because they're women.
Yeah.
It's rigged. If it's a male blogger and he's doing a contest, he just lets the woman win because, well, she's a woman. So I said, let's poke fun at that. Let's make a list and say that it's based off nothing but sex appeal alone. It's the Mrs. No, it wasn't the Mrs. It was the most bangable blogger of the year, 2009 or 10, whatever year it was.
Yeah.
And I, you know, now let me tell you, this shit hit the fan on this. It hit the fan on this. People were pissed off. Women was.
Why?
And then, because apparently I was offending them.
Oh, God.
And the men got mad, not because they were offended, just because somebody they liked that was offended, so they had to be offended too, because somewhere in their mind, they probably had it in the back of their head that they had a chance with this girl if they ever met up in real life.
Right,
So that's where that was. So, but now before we get to the gist of it, we'll get to the point of this now. I actually reached out and talked to some people before I did this. Now, I don't want to name names because it would be a he said, she said,
a bunch of bullshit.
Was said more properly than I just said it.
Right.
He said, she said type of thing. But I will say this. I sent messages to women. I was like, hey, I'm going to do this as a joke. And either they kind of played it off as like, yeah, whatever, I'm busy, or they was like, yeah, that's fine. And then when that list went live,
they all jumped on
it. It's like one person got offended. It's like, oh, crap, this one person, which is probably Stacy Ponder, was like the first one from Final Girl. I'll mention her because she's an asshole anyway. I always have thought she was one, so I'll go ahead and mention her. And then when she got mad,
what did she say?
I don't know. It's been so long, but everybody's like, well, this knocks women journalism down years, and this, this takes everything women have accomplished in all these years, and it knocks them back, and all this stuff, dumb stuff. And I mean, this is just, I just couldn't believe it. Like, all this hate that was coming from it over a joke. Was it a bad joke? Probably. But I didn't think it was going to catch
but most bangable, I mean, you wouldn't really think that people would get mad about that.
But, it's one of those things, man. People are just so uptight these days about things. People get offended. And that was like the first time they ever really noticed that, how offended people were going to get at stuff. And, of course, I look like a bad guy. I look like an asshole, like a jerk. Everybody's like, oh, he's a terrible person. He did this stuff. So after everybody was complaining, you get the comments. Everybody put their 2 cents in about how awful it was. Not everybody, but most of the names at the time, they were all jumping on that bandwagon. But, and then there was like one person that was like anonymous. He was like, you should just kill yourself. Kill yourself. That doesn't bother me because, obviously I'm not going to do it. But I know who it was, Andrea Kirk. How you doing? I know it was. I know it was her. Which she had a blog for...
Did you put her on the list?
I probably, and I don't know why, because I think it's because I was like I thought I was friends with her at the time, obviously, but of course she jumped ship like a rat, when the ship was going down after that, and she was somebody who, I don't know, had a blog that may have had 3 posts in it. She was more allegedly considered to be more of a groupie of the horror blogosphere, if you know what I'm saying. If you know what I'm saying, allegedly, not saying it's true, just saying some people might say otherwise. But, that was the gist of it, and it went on for a while there. But one of the funniest things about it was Heidi Honeycutt. She's Heidi Honeycutt now. Forget what her maiden name or her other married name was or whatever. She did this blog called, what was it called? What was it? Well, I can't even remember what in the world she called her blog now. It's been so long, and I'm so out of the loop on stuff. But she was in, like, independent movies and stuff. And I was always friends with her, and what I always thought was funny was that she was, like, one of the ones that was like, yeah, do it. This is going to be fine, do it. And then that same night, after it happened, like the next day or the night of, she was on her podcast, The Scaring, with Stacy Ponder, live podcast, and she was like, oh, this is terrible, blah, 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 going on this rant about how awful it was. But what was funny was everybody thought that she was like this person that was all upset about what was going on. At the same time, I was getting messages from her, and she was just like, oh, keep doing it. Nobody ever got anywhere but being nice, you got to make controversy. So it's like she was playing the angle.
Yeah, so she was like...
she didn't really care. And a lot of them, I had a lot of them that was like, at the same time, they were telling me in messages, like, oh, it's all right, you just overshot your bounds a little bit, I'm not that mad, it's just blowed out of proportion, it's okay. And at the same time, they'd be on Twitter live going, something, this is a disgrace to the blogging community, this is horrible, And really, it's a shame that it ever got that way, because it's a horror thing, right? And this is kind of like, it wasn't really... I mean, it was horror related in a way that these people wrote about horror, right. But it was dumb though. It was dumb to even do it, but it was even dumber the reaction. And then they wanted an apology. People wanted an apology, and I half-assed my apology. I was like, I'm sorry that you don't get the joke here. So if you're offended by the fact that I made a joke and you didn't get it, I'm sorry. That's it. And it kind of blew over, and now it's not really nothing going on to bring it back up now. It's just more along the lines of, felt like I should probably say something about it, because even on like the Exercast podcast and stuff like that, it's been hinted at before, about the stuff that happened with it, but nobody ever really come out and really gave like any say on it and gave my side of it. So I figured I'd just start this week by mentioning it. And, of course, it didn't hurt me at all. I mean, okay, look at this. Was it in bad taste? Yes, it probably was in bad taste. Was it a joke? Yes. But did the people that I really cared about get offended by it? No. Because I'll be honest with you, after everybody started getting mad about it, the only person I was worried that might be mad about it was Shannon.
She never said that.
She didn't care. You know, Shannon Picaro, for everybody out there, Cannibal Kitchen, formerly of the website. I don't think she's on the website anymore because she's off doing whatever she does. But, you know, like I said, she didn't care. And that was the only one person I was worried about caring. And, of course, Beard from Extracast, he didn't care. And there was a lot of other people who didn't care. And those people that didn't care and knew that what was going on and all that, I'm still friends with them today.
Right.
Everybody else I kind of hardly talk about. Sometimes I talk to them. Sometimes I talk, converse with them over movie-related things. But the most people, like the horror-affiliate people and all that stuff, they didn't care.
Right.
It just kills me to think about how out of proportion something like that got blew.
But I mean, it's kind of childish if you think about it in the same way. Not that you posted it that it was a joke, just that how mad they got over something that stupid.
Yeah, and you know what was so funny is that everybody's so offended, or at least a small majority that was very vocal was offended. It sure didn't hurt the hits. The website got more hits than it ever got. Right. And I still get hits based off that stuff today. A lot of people just found my website based on that. Mm-hmm. And they never would have found it if people hadn't made such a big deal about it. Everybody's like, well, I need to go see what's going on. And when they got there, they obviously found something they liked, so they stuck around.
So in a sense, it was a good thing, too.
In a sense, it was a good thing. Do I regret it?
No.
I don't want to say I do, because if I hadn't got all the hits and the exposure from it, I probably wouldn't get all the press stuff I get now.
Yeah.
That's what helped put me over the hump. So I don't really regret it. I just think it's dumb that it ever really got like as bad as it did. But it didn't stop people from voting. They had plenty of votes. People voting, people were offended, but they weren't too offended to vote. You know what I mean?
So who won?
It was Alita Illusion. Or Leota Illusion, whatever. I can't think of how to pronounce her name properly, and she didn't care. The winner didn't care. She's on my Instagram. She's the one with the real nice ass. You probably can't say nothing, but you've seen it. You've seen it. I've showed it to you. I've showed it to you. Everybody's seen it. She's proud of it. I mean, this ain't offending her. That's part of her career, so she don't care. But I never did another one of those. I never really did a contest again after that. I did like the little contest where you can win stuff, but as far as actually bringing in journalists or bloggers or something like that and having somebody vote on it, I never did that again after that.
Right.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is, kids, is don't do something ignorant unless you just absolutely are sure that people ain't going to, get upset about it. But if you don't care, do it anyway. Because there is some benefits. People like Howard Stern, people like, I don't know, there's plenty of people out there that didn't get where they got now by being nice.
The Saturday Night Live whole crew.
That's what Heidi Honeycutt told me, and that's some advice I've always took. Even though I kind of keep low-key.
So I bet that she kind of hyped it up, too, when when she was talking about it.
Oh, yeah, hyped up. It's a terrible thing. Awful person. This guy's like, he's Hitler. Pretty much. And I had people say it was like the same as rape.
Oh, God.
That was the biggest thing about it that I thought was just completely insane, that somebody would compare it to something like that. Of course, I mean, people, that's blowing something out of proportion.
Way too far.
That is stepping boundaries. That's stepping lines. I mean, sticks and stones can break bones, but words can never hurt nobody.
Exactly.
Unless you let them. And is that my problem? I mean, but either way. I never got to tell you that story. I figured, why not tell you the story live on a podcast where I've never actually talked about it, in depth before.
I never even really knew about it.
Well, yeah, it didn't hurt me none. Hits went up. Mail keeps coming. People keep listening, hopefully. Mostly they listen on the website. There ain't many YouTubers that listen to this shit, but maybe on the website, the downloads are still strong on that. Yeah. So people are hearing us. So
that's good, I guess.
Yeah, if you got any other subjects you'd like us to touch on, feel free to drop me a line at zombiesdon'trun.dotnet@gmail.com. We can talk about subjects on here. I can give my opinion. I've been around for a while now. I've been running the site since 2008. Like 2008, it was a little bit of 2009 when it hit full force. We're on 9 years of this. 9 years of this website. So I've got some knowledge of how things work out there. I've been around for all the big things, or at least the big things of the past almost decade.
Yep.
So if anybody would like my opinion on them, feel free to ask. Or tweet me. I'm on Twitter at Chuck Connery. You ain't on Twitter.
I don't got one no more.
You got like 25 Twitter accounts that you let go in there.
Yeah, because I never use them.
Yeah. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about some horror stuff. Horror, not horror stuff.
Yeah.
You watched some movies last night, but I want to get this out of the way here because I think this fascinates me. You have always been bragging on Last House on the Left, and I was always under the assumption that you were bragging about the original 1970, 74?
72.
72, Last House on the Left?
Nope.
And you were talking about the remake, man.
The remake is 10 times
So
better.
when you borrowed the Blu-ray I had of it, which was the original, not the remake, because I only got the remake on DVD, you come back with some not so kind words to say about the original.
I got
Last House on the Left. So what is your beef here with Last House on the Left? I want to hear it.
I don't know how to explain it. It's just too. You know what I'm saying?
Is it too real for you?
No, not that.
Do you not think that is a movie you should show every 15-year-old before they start going out and hanging out with their friends?
No, especially don't show them that.
Well, tell me why the remake's better.
It's got Aaron Paul in it.
Oh God!
That just makes everything better.
It also has a happier ending.
Yeah.
Is that what you like?
Well, yeah. Well,
so you don't like the hardcore everybody? Well, most everybody dies. I guess we assume the girl dies. Is that?
well, in all horror movies now, it's hard to even see anybody live.
Did it ever actually say that if the girl lived or died? I'm always under the assumption she died, but I watched it when I got the Blu-ray, and I never really seen nothing that said she was actually gone. You know what I mean?
I don't know, but I mean I've seen both, and I just like the remake better.
Okay.
That's just all I'll say about it.
You like the lead actress better?
Yeah.
So it's a looks thing.
No, it's not.
It's not a looks thing. It's basically the same thing for the most part. I think maybe in the new remake, they kind of made the boys with the croup. What's his name? What do they call him? Toad, frog? What do they call him? They called him something because she had
Toad frog.
She had like a necklace, that she handed to him.
His name's Justin.
Yeah, but what did she call? She called him something. She called him something. I can't remember.
You talking about the lead guy?
I'm talking about the boy that's
his name's Justin. They call his lead dad his lead
Krug
dad.
is the main guy.
Krug, yeah.
I'm talking about it's his son in the remake. It wasn't his son in the old one. I don't reckon. Or maybe it was. I can't remember if it was or it wasn't. But I don't know. They switch things up a little bit in this. But the boy that's like on the dope and Krug can just control him. And in the original one, he tells him to kill himself and he kills himself.
Yeah.
Well, he don't do that in the remake. In the remake, he actually joins in, and they're like, "Oh, sure, buddy, come on in."
But I mean, they kind of like force him though.
Yeah, and it's more forced in the remake than it was in the original.
Yeah, so he don't. I mean, he don't even. His dad Krug tries to get him to rape the girl.
Yeah.
Well, he won't do it, so his dad does it anyways. In the remake.
Well, in the original, he joins right in, don't he?
Yeah, in the original, but I mean, in the remake, he won't do it.
Oh, see, they put a bow on that one. On the remake, that's my issue with the remake is they took everything that people were really bothered by in the original and they
made it good.
Yeah,
they made him a good guy, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean they got their little nice ending and all that stuff. In the old one. I think Wes Craven was he was just trying to shock people. He was trying to scare people.
Yeah. I mean, all of it's got good in it.
Yeah.
Both the remake and the
Well,
old.
I don't like the little funny cop thing in the original one.
Oh, yeah.
All of a sudden, out of nowhere, you got the guy that led the Cobra Kai and Karate Kid running around there with the sheriff, and it's got the little music. It's just so out of place. If you cut that out, that's my only problem with the original, Last House on the Left. But no, you've seen something else, did you? You watched some other movies.
Oh, I've seen a lot in the past week. I've watched more movies than I have in a while. So I've seen every I Spit on Your Grave made in the past week.
Yeah. So is this another time you're going to tell me that the remake's better than the original?
Yes.
You know what? I agree with you on that.
Yes.
I'll agree with you on that one.
My favorite one.
The better. It's just the story's done better on the remake.
Yes, the second one's better than all of them.
Part 2. Now you're talking about the remake part 2, not Savage Vengeance that Donald Farmer made that legally can't be called I Spit on Your Grave 2. But now the remake sequel part 2 is like I said, it's the one that has nothing to do with any of the rest of them.
The first and the third connect, but the second one.
The first one kind of just does everything that was done the first time, only it's done I think better.
Yeah.
And I like Camille Keaton and all that, but I think the Butler chick, I think her last name was Butler,
Yeah.
Jennifer Butler or
Yeah.
something like that. Jennifer Butler, whatever they call her, she was like really good, I thought, in it. And the story's done better. I think the story's done better. It's a little bit more graphic.
Right,
The
yeah.
blood's up there. I like it. And I think it's overall a better film, although the other one's notorious for reasons that everybody knows. The remake, I liked it a lot. Part 2, now you love Part 2.
Yeah, I hate the third one.
And I'm not, Part 2, let's talk about Part 2 for a second. Now, Part 2 dives on into the, the more human trafficking side of things. And real quick, let me grab this. I just seen the DVDs laying right here if the stack don't fall. I don't have the Blu-ray of the remake. But I do have the DVD laying right here as I take a quick check here to see if I can get her name right. But you can go ahead while I'm looking here and tell me what you liked about Part 2.
Well, I mean, there's so many different things that it could have, so many different ways it could have went.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Sarah Butler is her name.
Sarah Butler.
Sarah Butler, yeah.
So not Jennifer.
No, I was thinking of the character's name is Jennifer.
Yeah.
But Sarah Butler played her. But the second one dips into human trafficking and all that stuff, and basically, this chick, which I don't even know who that is. The disc is over there somewhere, but something happens. She wakes up in another country.
Yeah, she's in. I think it's Beijing or something.
Yeah, and just all kinds of crap happens, and it gets pretty graphic.
The guys they got to play that one, man.
Yeah.
The three guys, they break into her house.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's just one guy, and then he calls his brothers there to
Mm-hmm.
help him clean up the mess. But the guy that they got to actually do the all that where he raped her and all that.
Yeah.
He was the oddest person I think I've ever seen. Which I think they've made it where something was supposed to be wrong in his head.
Yeah.
But still, man, I wouldn't cast him in anything else.
Of course, then Miss Butler returns for the third one,
Yeah.
which is a direct sequel to the first one.
They just at the start of the third one, they play everything that happened in the first one.
I feel like she probably thought her career was going to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And then it didn't. So she's like, I don't want to do Part 2. But then by the time Part 3 rolled around, she's kind of like, yeah, put me back in.
Yeah.
So, but I don't like that one.
I hate it.
I don't like that. She basically turns into the Punisher, a female version of the Punisher. She's got these meetings and stuff, and her friend something happens to her friend.
Yeah.
So that pushes her over the edge pretty much. So now she's back on revenge, and she's getting herself in bad situations just so she can, basically kill some bad guy.
And it has a too good ending, like too nice,
Yeah, I mean it's okay. I guess it's not my favorite at all.
No, the
but
best is the second. Or the first. I mean, I like the first as well as the second.
I like the first better. But the third one, I find it just kind of hilariously bad.
I mean, because all the flashbacks and her like going mental in her head and having, they have too much stuff in there about like where she sees it happening in her head, her killing these people, but she's not really doing it. So it would have been better if they would put it in there as her really doing all this stuff.
It gets a little too cute for me. It's a little like
too.
you said. It's like I said, they pretty well went for the Punisher route of it. But
Yeah.
I've heard that they may actually make a sequel to the old original. One they won't get sued over this time, with Camille Keaton back. I had an awkward meeting with her one time.
Did you really?
At the convention in Nashville. Me and Goob.
Yeah.
We asked her if she wanted to do a quick interview for the podcast. We had the press passes, and she acted like somebody was like trying to get money off of her or something. So she acted very uncomfortable. But I guess she gets a bunch of weirdos at conventions and stuff like that. You watched Ouija, the first one.
Yep.
Which is good because the second one's coming out here pretty soon. I heard you say you liked it. I didn't care for it.
Yeah, I liked it.
I just thought it was by the book stuff, but you actually liked that one.
Yeah. Thought it was pretty
Give you any
good.
bad dreams or anything?
No, yeah, it had one.
Because I remember you didn't want to watch it.
I didn't want to watch it because I don't like stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know how I am. So.
Well, but I got halfway through it when I actually watched it for review, and I didn't want to watch it because I thought it sucked.
Yeah, you thought it sucked?
I didn't like it.
Thought it was that bad?
I didn't like it at all.
I mean, I
may give it a 2 out of 5, maybe.
I thought it was alright.
Yeah, but I hear the second one's a lot better.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, the second. Well, I ain't seen it yet.
Is it out?
No, it will be.
Okay.
Either this end of this month or next month.
Well, has it been in theaters?
Yeah, that's the ship done sailed on that
Yeah.
one. But I probably will get it. I imagine I'll get it and do a review on it.
Yeah, I thought it was good. The first one.
Mm-hmm.
I actually watched The Gallows too. Like the second time since I've seen it in the theaters.
How do you feel about The Gallows?
I liked it. Did you like it?
Not really.
You didn't like it?
That's another one. I just thought it was just... These found footage films, man, they're all the same, and the only thing different is just how they're going to wrap it up, because usually they wrap pretty open-endedly, but this one, it had a big twist at the end, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, there's 2 endings.
Yeah.
And I believe the main one, because I remember watching both of them, but the main one has a big twist to it, and I guess it made sense.
Yeah, it made sense.
But
they wrapped it all around like it was the guy that had died in the play or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
They wrapped it around like it was his daughter and his his girlfriend at the time or whatever. Yeah. I guess she had got pregnant before he died, and then she had the kid. So they made it like his kid was the one screwing with everything, and her mom, which is his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was, I liked the way it ended. I liked the whole movie altogether. I paid to see it in theaters the first time it came out.
You went and saw that in theaters?
Yep.
What was that like? Was it a good crowd, or was it kind of like...
It was packed to the gill.
Did they holler and scream?
Yeah.
Best movie I thought I'd ever seen in my life was Signs. Do you remember Signs?
Signs.
The old M. Night Shyamalan movie.
I think
Mel
so.
Gibson and all that stuff where the aliens and stuff come.
I think so.
I seen that in a theater, and there wasn't but like maybe a little less than half full in the theater.
Yeah.
But they screamed and hollered with every little thing that happened on screen, so it made that feel like that was the best movie in the world.
Right.
And then I went back and watched it later on and thought, well, this ain't that great.
Right.
So a good crowd can make you change your opinion a lot on a movie if you watch it in theater, which I need to get back to watching more movies in theaters.
Yeah.
But speaking of the found footage thing, man, I watched the new Blair Witch movie.
I've seen the old one. I haven't seen that one yet.
Did not like it.
I don't like watching that kind of stuff either.
Well, it picks up. It's like a direct sequel to the first one, although the second one mentions it. You know, this one ignores the second one and just connects to the first one.
Yeah.
And they get around the found footage thing this time because they've got like these little ear cameras that they wear around their ears, so you can see their point of view. There's drones.
Oh god.
They connect with 2 other people that's really into that stuff and go in the woods, and they got like a bad old rinky-dink camera, kind of like what we'd make a movie with. And they've got like the main chick, which is the girlfriend to the guy who is the brother to the girl that disappeared in the first one. Mm-hmm. She's got a real nice camera. And, you know, there's a couple of really cool scenes, but most of it's just what we've already saw, and everything's by the book. And
so was that supposed to be real?
I don't know. I don't think. Maybe there was like a Bell Witch once upon a time. You remember hearing about a Bell Witch, but this Blair Witch...
What was the story on the Bell Witch?
I have no clue. The Blair Witch, I'm not even sure either. It's just this witch that killed people, and she make them stand in the corners and all that stuff. And like when I was a kid, I thought it was real because when it came out, that was back before everybody on the internet knew everything.
Right.
So people were still trying to piece it together if it was real, if it wasn't real. And they even had a fake documentary on the Sci-Fi Channel saying it was real and saying, well, these people went to the woods and they never come back, and here's the footage they found, and it made you believe it was real. They had a website that was backing it up and all that. I mean, but you can't really do nothing like that these days because everybody knows everything.
Yeah.
It's the biggest like thing these guys did was before the movie even come out, they had everybody believing they was making a movie called The Woods, and it wasn't until like some big convention or something like that when they finally showed stuff for it or premiered it, that they realized, oh, this is a Blair Witch sequel.
Right.
That's the best thing they've done. Mm-hmm. So that's the only good part about that. But the movie itself, like I said, I didn't really like none of the characters. I thought the characters done stupid stuff, and you know, at the end of it, the chick's pretty well. She should be smarter than that. At the end of it, you know, I ain't gonna spoil it because it just come out. But I think they do some stupid things in this one. The only coolest thing, there's like one really cool kill. I ain't gonna spoil, but there's one really good kill in the whole movie, and the rest of it's just kind of blah.
Yeah,
it's there. But you know, I like the director. It's the same guy that did You're Next.
What's his name?
Adam something.
Yeah,
he did Homesick and You're Next and A Horrible Place to Die and stuff like that. You're Next was great, and he did The Guest. I love The Guest, but this stuff, nah, it wasn't for me. I also saw something that probably wouldn't be for you, but I got some trauma movies in the mail yesterday, and I got The BC Butcher, which they've hyped up a lot.
Is it good?
I ain't watched it yet. But the other one I did watch was by a director that I don't know his name, and I can't remember his name, but I'd never heard of him either. It's called Honkey Holocaust.
Wow. If
you like stuff like The Taint, it kind of looks like that. It's kind of like that same look. And
is it kind of like Trauma's War?
No. This is like new school type trauma stuff like Father's Day, The Taint, stuff like that. It looks like that. It's got that feel to it. A lot of effects, a lot of bad effects, but it kind of works with it. Mm-hmm. A lot of real gross stuff. There's stuff with genitals and stuff like that.
Always.
But it's like an alternate timeline where Manson's crew did what they did, but it actually did make a race war.
Yeah.
So they go underground, and Charles Manson's got a daughter now, and he died. So his sit next in command is running the place. So they come out after all these years, and they're going to take over because they're white. Well, they come out in California, and the black people are running everything.
Right.
And it's basically how the black people treat the white people the same way the white people treated the black people back in the slave days, back when you had to set a certain part of the restaurant.
Yeah.
No, that's what they do, to the white people, and it's just blowed up out of proportion. And by the time it's over, you don't know whether to cheer for the white people, the black people, or who, because the characters are all kind of bad.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Like when it first started, I thought, this guy's trying too hard.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I was going to like it, because like when the first thing you see is a pregnant girl gets shot and peed on. One of the first things you see, but it's really badly done. You can tell she ain't pregnant. She's holding something there, and it's what it is. But by the time it wins you over, it just gets so ridiculous after a while that you gotta just enjoy it anyway. And there's this one black guy, like the main girl, Charles Manson's daughter. She's like the main chick, of the movie, and all these black people were trying to kill her and rape her and all this stuff. And she runs into this one black fella that's planting a garden out in the middle of California and has overhauls and stuff on.
Yeah.
And he takes her in, and I don't want to spoil anything, but there's like this one scene where something's going on, and it's playing this really weird song about I can't see your color in the dark, stuff
God.
like that. It's just funny. It's interesting. I suggest maybe watching it. I don't know if you'd like it or not, but if you were like people likes The Taint or Father's Day or something like that, it's semi on that level a little bit, but not all the way. It's not as good, but it's amusing. I do want to watch that BC Butcher though, because that's Candace. What's her name? Kansas Rolling or something like that. She's like she made it when she was really young, and she's still pretty young now. And it's like a prehistoric slasher movie taking place in the caveman days. And
is that what you was talking about?
No, I mean, no. I was just talking about earlier, like that was a legit thing according to caveman lore. Was back in the days, if you wanted a woman, you club her in the head with the club, and you drag her back to your cave. But I don't know if there's any of that in this or not. It's a trauma movie. There probably is.
Yeah.
But like the chick that made the movie, she's really nice. She follows me on Instagram. I follow her on Instagram, and she's very friendly with the press and the horror community. So hopefully it's good. I hope it don't suck.
Yeah.
But I'll let you know. But I'm gonna watch it though.
I've seen.
If you were cool, you'd watch stuff like that too.
I might watch it.
You never watch them.
I don't know.
Every now and then you'll watch them. It's hard to make you watch anything.
I've seen Unfriended.
Yeah, I actually kind of like that one.
I did too.
So finally, you like something.
Did you like the way that they put it on there? Yeah. As it was all on Skype.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's I've seen two other movies like that, and one of them I can't think what it was called, but it was really good. And the other one was like Open Windows with Elijah Woods that played, Frodo.
Yeah. It's
kind of like that, but I didn't like it too much.
You like it?
And it was like either streaming on his phone or streaming on a camera or on his computer. But Unfriended, though, I really liked that whole concept. But now the other movie, I liked it better. I wish I could think of the name of it. But it's like the same thing, just a lower scale. The budget ain't as big on it. But Unfriended surprised me because I heard everybody's like, "Oh, it's terrible, it's terrible."
No, I liked it.
But I liked it.
I thought the way that it was mapped out, the whole plot all together was good.
Yeah.
Like the way when it started, it had her looking at the videos of the girl killing herself.
Yeah.
And then it all played out with the messages and the everybody turning.
Everybody
on each
joins
other.
into the chat and all that stuff, and then things happen, and you see it through webcams and stuff like that. It's neat. I thought it was a pretty good concept.
Yeah, I did too.
A lot of people kind of hated on it, but everybody does when it's mainstream. But I liked it. I always heard they was going to make another one. I don't know if they are or not.
I wish they would. I liked it.
Yeah.
I also watched One Missed Call, which is an old movie. But
One Missed Call.
The one where everybody that dies has the red ball come out of their mouth, and it's the
I've never seen that.
You know what I'm saying? You've never seen it?
Never seen it.
I'm not going to ruin it, but it's
Where'd
great.
you watch it?
Well, I've got it.
Oh, you've got that one, huh? I think that was based off of an old Japanese movie, I think.
Yeah, but it's good.
Yeah, well, I'd like to check it out. I did get to check out that one I was telling you about. I watched it because its plot's somewhat similar to the game, to the movie we're making, the Beyond the Gates.
Oh yeah.
It was okay. I thought it was overall a good movie, and basically, you remember you're younger than I am, but you remember? Did you ever see any VHS board games?
I don't think so.
You pop in VCR, they tell you when to turn the lights down low, and you're supposed to do what they tell you to do, and all that stuff. And,
no, I've never seen that.
Well, this is based off that. It's his family. It's these two brothers, and they don't get along too well. And the dad's disappeared, so they're at his old video store, and they're packing things up. And then they get in the back, and they find one of them VHS board games called Beyond the Gates.
Yeah.
And they decide, well, we'll play it. And then weird stuff starts happening. And then they realize that they're kind of forced to finish the game.
Yeah.
And all that stuff, and that's kind of like it. It don't connect too much to what we're doing, other than the fact that it's kind of like a semi-cursed VHS thing.
Yeah.
But it was good. The only thing I had with it that kind of got me was everything builds up to where you think it's going to be this gigantic, like, bat crazy ending, you know.
Yeah.
And you're going to go in that world, and it's going to be this weird thing. But it doesn't really get that way. Everything kind of stays more grounded because I think that's probably the budget, I guess, got in the way. But they did the best they could for it, and it was good. Has Barbara Crampton from Reanimator and, you know, the Beyond and all that stuff, or from Beyond, I should say, you know, as the chick on the video. And she's like 50-something years old, and she still looks great.
I might borrow that and watch it.
You might like it. And there's some really good blood moments in it, too. Like, you know, there's some good gore. They don't skip out on the gore effects.
Right.
I mean, it's a little slow-moving. That's probably like a lot of people ain't going to like it because it's a little slow-moving. But I think it's good enough for somebody to watch. I think it's good enough to check out. And I think you might like it if you was to check it out.
I might watch that.
But yeah, that's kind of like mostly all the new stuff I've got to see. I watched The Orphan Killer. Have you heard of The Orphan?
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it.
Like that movie, they've been talking about that movie for years, man. And then finally it came out, and you just got these two kids, and somebody killed their parents, and they grew up as orphans, and then the brother's kind of crazy. Yeah. It's really a lot like Halloween. Yeah. And the brother's kind of crazy, and the girl ends up getting adopted, and the brother don't. Well, we're after all these years, you know, later now, and he's kind of back for revenge.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a Rob Zombie movie in a lot of ways. It's got, you know, the typical stuff.
Rob Zombie
a lot of religious stuff in it, but, you know, something about
they
use a lot of symbolism and stuff. I mean,
so is it like
I don't know.
Good against
well, no. I mean, he's going around like quoting Bible stuff while he's killing people and stuff like that. I mean, maybe that's not good.
Like, Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, kind of, but just a lot lower of a level. But
right.
It's got really, really good gore, really, really good gore when it has it. But it's got this heavy metal soundtrack, and that kind of that aggravates me, you know. Whenever something happens and you're waiting for some kind of cool synthesizer music or something, instead you get you know, that stuff. And
you know what I forgot to mention?
What's that?
I think it was a couple weeks ago. Like when we first started doing this, we forgot to mention that we watched Carnage Park.
Carnage Park, yeah, the guy that loves Tarantino so much that I didn't hate the movie.
I thought it was okay.
But that guy, man, one of the first things you see is like a shot-for-shot reenactment of the Reservoir Dogs opening scene.
Yes, for sure.
He
ripped that off so bad that I thought he was going to call him the same name.
Yeah, and then of course he pretty well does almost the same dialogue in that scene, and you know, then you go to where you backtrack on stuff, which I like backtracking.
I love it.
But the guy what's he call himself, Scorpion or something like that? Scorpion Joe. They're running from the cops, and then they come across this girl, and he kidnaps this girl, and then
remember he's
the greatest outlaw of them all. Yeah. And then stuff happens, and next thing you know, they're on the run from this crazy person with a shotgun or machine gun.
Yeah, he's got
sniper rifle,
like a machine gun sniper rifle. But
the
thing about it is, he's got an inside job because his brother's a cop.
Yeah, his brother's a cop, and all that comes into play. And then you realize he's been doing this for a while, and they're trying to keep it under wraps. And she commits something stupid at the middle of the movie. She could have ended the movie at the middle of the movie if she wasn't stupid. And the only problem I have with, which I think her performance was the best performance of the whole movie.
Yeah.
But the only problem I really have with it, besides the fact that it's obviously a Tarantino ripoff, or tries to be.
Yeah.
Dialogue wasn't as good, but it tried to be. You can't really see nothing there in the last of the third act.
No, I know, dude. The whole part where they're underground in the cave.
And I don't know if that was like the point, like they're just going to where they're like, well, we're going to do this and it's going to be different. But
you see a lot at the end of the cave. That's all you see the whole time. Yeah.
It was really aggravating.
And you hear a bunch of screaming, see blood and stuff, but you don't get none of it.
I don't know if I don't remember what happened because I didn't really care, or if I don't remember what happened because I couldn't see it. You know, I remember how it ends, but everything leading to that point,
me either.
You couldn't really see it.
Yeah, that's kind of the part that kicked me off from the whole movie, because we had sat there for like an hour and 45 minutes and seen everything, and then we don't get to see half of the ending.
I know. I don't like that leaving it up to your imagination type stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't like how dumb she was. I mean, she had a perfect chance to end this. You ever seen them in the movies where people could have ended a movie sooner and they didn't do it? This girl had one of the perfect chances, and she messes it up.
You know, I watched a movie the other night.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was Last House on the Left, the remake.
Yeah.
You know what it was?
Yeah.
They could have ended the movie within the first act.
Well, they could have never had a movie if they were smart enough not to follow that kid around and
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. I mean, they could have just met him and that been it.
He's killing me with the cigarette in here, by the way.
If she
hadn't, go ahead.
If she hadn't never wanted to smoke that dope with him,
I know it.
Then the movie wouldn't have never been made.
So there you go, kids.
And it was that same girl that was in Superbad.
That legalized marijuana is going to get you killed. Oh yeah, whatever happened to her? Have you seen her in anything since then?
She's in that. What is it? Is it 1600 something? It's a TV show.
The something 100?
No, it's
2500.
Oh God, I can't remember. It's like 1600. Oh, I can't remember.
He don't remember, but she apparently still has a career. If anybody knows the whereabouts of this young lady from Superbad and Last House on the Left remake.
What was that movie we was talking about the other day that had Rainn Wilson in it? I said, did you know that had Rainn Wilson in it? He was like, yeah, he's the whole point of the movie.
Oh, I don't remember. You asked me if he's in The Office. Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah, he's in The Office. But he was in that movie Super. I don't know if you've ever seen it or not, but it's worth watching if you can check it out.
I've seen that movie Super 8. I think it's what it's called, ain't it?
Oh, yeah, they're Super 8.
Super 8. I've seen that in theaters.
Yeah? Well, I seen it a long time ago as well. I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
You know what else I like?
What?
Them Hasbro, WWE figures.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, I tell you what, if you guys ain't had a chance to get these, they're made by Mattel. They're called the Retro line. They already got Series 2 planned out. But they're hitting Walmart right now. And we went on a mission from God.
From God, yes.
To get these things. And I took my old NES games to the local game exchange. I didn't think I was going to get $20 out of them.
Yeah,
I was already planning, okay, now there's 4 of them. So I'm broke, and I can only probably get whatever, based on what money I get, I can only get that. So
yeah. Do
I get Cena? Do I get Brock? Do I go ahead and get Owens? Do I get Reigns? That's the 4 to get from, because Taker and Warrior's coming later on. But I ended up being lucky, because when I went to the game exchange and they rang me up, I ended up getting over 50 bones for my money, which means something I had was awful valuable, and I didn't have a clue what it was.
I think it was that one we looked up.
I know Zelda was. Yeah. Mega Man's pretty valuable. Zelda was valuable.
Yeah.
Mega Man 3. Mega Man 4 is the most valuable one, I think. Yeah. But
you had the other Zelda that was worth more than that.
Yeah, it had a chip on the cartridge, so they wouldn't take it. But they offered me $80 store credit or $50-something cash, and I took the cash because I wanted the wrestlers. But, you know, I don't even know if I'd have took the $80, they'd really had anything in there I wanted right now anyway, because I done kind of cleaned them out over the past few weeks.
Yep.
But doggone, I got them. And I tell you, if you're nostalgic at all for these old wrestling figures, you need to pick these up. They got Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, Brock Lesnar, John Cena. Same size as the old ones. Yep. Some of them's got the same moves as the old ones did. Like,
except Kevin Owens.
Yeah, that's a new one. Brock's got the power slam that Hogan had.
Yeah.
We may do a commercial for him one day. We may reenact the commercial from the old toy line. That might be something fun to do. If you don't lean on my package and open it right now.
I may open them.
You're subtle, buddy. You're subtle.
What do you mean?
Over here, they lean them up. You can't see right now, but I was scared that he was about to crack open poor old Roman the hard way there.
Oh yeah.
You know, he knocked over stacking my movies while we were stacking them up yesterday.
Hey, that was your fault.
Me?
You ran into me?
Me?
I'm trying to watch this movie.
Oh, now.
Hey, that's part of the movie.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question.
Oh,
this is off of the subject.
Look, he's put me on the spot.
This is back to horror stuff.
Okay, well. No.
Did you like the Insidious movies?
Yeah.
Let me tell you why I didn't like them.
I like the first one. Yeah.
I watched the first one. Halfway through it, I fell asleep. That's how bad I hated it.
Oh, your taste just sucks.
No.
You need to watch them again.
I don't like them.
The only thing I don't like about them is the fact that all the new ones are prequels. I want something to follow up part 2.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Of course, there's 3 of them now, right?
3 or 4?
There's 3. I think there's Insidious 3. There's 3 of them. Working on a 4th one. It's a prequel to as well. I don't like that.
You got all of them, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Because I'm OG, triple OG, double OG.
Yeah.
Greatest podcaster that ever lived. Greatest horror blogger that ever lived. Make the best horror blog contest that ever was.
Oh yeah, well,
yeah,
the most
don't add the most bangable bloggers. And if we did a male one, I'd probably win. I'm sexy.
Yeah,
I think I am.
I hear you.
You know what else is sexy?
What?
Well, signing off on this podcast the next week.
Yep.
So, did you feel like you got your fill this week?
Yeah, I feel like we got it.
You feel that the listeners are going to be happy with us?
Hopefully.
Do you feel like you're going to get some hate on that Last House on the Left comment?
I don't know. If I do, then screw him.
Oh boy, he's a rebel.
I mean, that's just my thoughts.
Yeah, that's your opinion, right?
My opinion.
That's right. One man's opinion. It's one man. You don't tell me you're going to make it great again. Please don't tell me you're going to make it great again.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, I thought we was heading that way.
No, I like Obama.
I like Obama too. We just lost some fans, probably.
Yeah,
But we might have gained some, too.
Hey.
Hey, the world's split. You ready for Civil War?
Probably. They'll probably call my number, be the first number they call.
You think we can get Captain America on our team or Iron Man?
Hopefully Iron Man.
I like Captain America.
Not right.
Civil War. But either way, we'll be back next week with Zombie Stone Podcast. Hopefully. You just be sure to keep listening and may the power of the cast compels you.
Yeah.
Yeah.